Sometimes rules from the past are better, but sometimes the present can improve upon them. GameMasters here, and we've got the new 2024 Player's Handbook in for review. And of all the questions that I've gotten, it's crafting that stands out the most. And I'll be making more videos about this book for sure, but today I want to focus on the changes to crafting. In the 2014 version, crafting was categorized under downtime activities. In this new 2024 version, crafting has changed just a little. Originally, crafting was presented in 4 paragraphs. You had to be proficient in the tools associated with the item, and you had to have access to the raw materials. The example it gives was making a sword or a suit of armor. It went on to cite that for each day of downtime you spent crafting one or more items, and actually I'll cite it to you so that word for word so that you can kind of see how painful it was. For every day of downtime you spend crafting, you can craft one or more items with a total market value not exceeding 5 gold pieces, and you must expend raw materials worth half the total market value. If something you want to craft has a market value greater than 5 gold pieces, you make progress every day in 5 gold piece increments until you reach the market value of the item. For example, a suit of plate armor, market value 1,500 gold pieces, takes 300 days to craft by yourself. Now, it wasn't painful to craft the item, just the slog in reading how it was to craft was painful. Though I will admit that if I'm going to craft a suit of armor and it's going to take 300 days and cost me the equivalent of 1,500 gold in raw materials, I might as well just buy the suit of plate armor. Now let's take a look at how crafting was revamped in the 2024 version. Here it tells us that we need tools, raw materials, and time. It doesn't mention that this is something that we can do in downtime between games, but I think it's safe to assume that that's something that we can do. For tools, they need to be ones that you are proficient in when making the specific item you want to make, so there's been no change there. You'll need raw materials, and this too uses plate armor as the example, but it cites that you need half of the item's purchase cost, and with plate armor costing 1,500 gold, you'd need 750 gold worth of raw materials. Regarding time, it's assumed that you will work 8 hours a day, and to make the item, you divide its purchase cost in gold by 10. So in this instance, the plate armor itself costs 1,500 gold. Divide that by 10, and you get 150 days. In both versions, other players can also assist you by combining efforts. Doing that, and you can divide that number of days by the number of people that are helping you. This new edition, 2024 edition, cites that generally you can only have one assistant, but that the DM can allow for more if needed. So, as a side-by-side comparison, 2014 says you need tools and the proficiency to use them. 2024 says you need the tools and the proficiency to use them. There's been no change there. 2014 says you need raw materials. 2024 says you need raw materials. Again, no change. 2014 says you can make an item in 5 gold piece worth increments, and a suit of plate armor is 1,500 gold, which will take you 300 days to craft by yourself. 2024 says you can divide the item's cost in gold pieces by 10, and a suit of plate armor is 1,500 gold, which will take you 150 days to craft by yourself. That's a fairly significant change. 2014 says you can have help from other party members, which will reduce the crafting time. 2024 says you can have help from other party members, which will reduce the crafting time. No change there. And that's where crafting in 2014 ends. However, the 2024 version of the Player's Handbook goes on to also give examples of brewing potions of healing as well as scribing spell scrolls. For example, to brew up a potion of healing requires that the character be proficient with the herbalism kit and have 25 gold worth of the proper raw materials over the course of one day, they'll produce a single potion of healing. That's an 8-hour period. To scribe a spell, and this can range from cantrips on up to level 9 spells, can take anywhere from 1 day up to 120 days, depending on the complexity of the spell. To scribe a spell, you need to be proficient with either calligrapher's tools or the arcana skill. You need to have the spell in question prepared, and you'll need an appropriate amount of gold. Oh, and the spell requires, if it requires any material components, you're going to need those too, which are going to be consumed once you complete the scroll. It does specifically say that if you are to scribe a cantrip, that the version cast from the scroll is going to act as if you are the one casting at your caster level. So based on this, would you say that crafting has changed for the worse or for the better? I like that crafting plate armor takes half the amount of time, and with it only needing half the selling cost in raw materials, this lets you make a 50% markup. And because of the business person in me, I'm kind of digging that change. Now, I want to thank everyone for watching today's video, and I especially want to thank all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. I'll also extend to everyone watching, if you have any specific questions about what all can be found in this new 2024 Player's Handbook, hit up my Discord. It's from there that many questions get turned into videos. So if you'd like to help shape the future of this channel, be sure to drop in over there and just ask your questions. As mentioned, I just got in this book to review, so over the next coming days and weeks, and likely over the next year, I'll be making more videos covering what all can be found within. Be sure to bookmark this playlist so that you don't miss anything, and subscribe if you haven't already. What's a burning question that you have about this new 2024 Player's Handbook? Let me know down in the comments, and until next our paths cross, may you craft up some profitable plate armor.